The Tonight Show. I'm Martha, guest star Theodore Roosevelt, the leader of the Rough Riders. Roosevelt, what was your experience in Cuba like?
Well, I resigned as Assistant Secretary of the Navy to start the first U.S. Volunteer Cavalry, and we had Rough Riders that ranged from Texas Rangers to Indians to college athletes, and on June 13th, 1898, we sailed to Cuba.
And the next question, what was it like on the island?
Well, it was really hot and humid, and there were a lot of jungles, and well, disease was a lot scarier than the war itself because 1/4 of the troops died, and we didn't have enough supplies, so we weren't very well trained, but we made national news, and that made it all worth it.
Next question, were you scared to fight the Spanish?
Okay, for the most part, yes. The Spanish had better rifles, and they were much well trained than my troops, unfortunately, and we were able to defeat them in some battles, like the Battle of Kettle Hill and San Juan Hill. We were able to capture those. For many troops, it was their first battle, and they had to march 8 miles. It was really long. And 8 miles to Santiago, but we were victorious most of the time, so that was good.
And the last question, how did you feel at the Battle of San Juan Hill?
Well, the Battle of San Juan Hill was probably the highlight of the Spanish-American War. San Juan Hill and its neighboring hill were separated by a river, and the Rough Riders followed me into battle and obeyed me, and their obedience is more than I could ever ask for. But we were able to capture San Juan Hill, and eventually the Spanish fled Cuba, and we won the war.
Woo! Now we have another guest star, an original member of the Rough Riders. What was it like being a member of the Rough Riders under Teddy Roosevelt?
Well, Mr. Roosevelt was a great leader. We faced many struggles with the disease and not being very well trained, but he had great tactics that really led us through the war. The U.S. Army didn't really see us as an asset, but by the end of the war, after the Battle of San Juan Hill, which was, I think, July 1st, so less than a month after we sailed to Cuba, we were seen as heroes in the nation's eyes, so that was, I think, in most part thanks to him. He was a great leader and definitely an inspiration to us all.
And that will be the end of the Tonight Show. Thank you to our guest stars, Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Rider.
Riding off into the sunset.